What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Loading Podcast. My name is AJ.
And my name is Arthur. It is October 9th, 2020. I like to think that fall officially starts in October. The leaves are turning orange, the weather's getting a little bit colder, and the spooks are in, boys and girls. AJ, my boy, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling great. Summer's officially clipped.
No, you're in the Halloween spirit, my guy? You got your jank lanterns
No,
ready?
absolutely not. Fuck Halloween. No, fuck Halloween.
Stupid.
Fuck
I'm not
Halloween.
gonna let you get the chance.
That's the type of energy I'm coming with.
Damn.
This month.
This man
I'm
said,
just happy it's Florida weather. This is my favorite time of the year usually. It's not too hot, but at the same time it's not too cold.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is lit right now. I've never really been into celebrating holidays like that. I used to when I was a kid, but I grew out of that fast. But yeah, how are you doing?
No, I'm doing pretty good. For myself, I'm around with you that I love sweater weather. I love just going outside. It's not too cold that I have to put on a jacket, but then again, it's not too hot, so I can't just walk out with like short sleeve shirts anymore. I get to put on a nice, comfortable sweater and just do my business, whatever I have to. Aside from that, I'm doing pretty good.
This is the. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was gonna say this is the season that some folks call cuffing season.
Cuffing season.
If you know what that means, you probably don't know.
I don't actually.
Congratulations.
It's that cuddling. You know what I'm saying, with your significant other. It's the time of the year where you know what I'm saying. It's a time of the year where a lot of them summer babies is made. You feel me? you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
I think I was made around this time too. But hey, you feel me? Yeah. It be like that sometimes. But hey, no, it is cuffing season though. That's what they call it.
It is.
It's that cuddle weather. You feel me?
Yeah. So
I'm single by the way. Hey, just throwing it out there. If anybody.
The next question we get next week, you're gonna hear a girl be like, "Hey, yo, what's up?
Stop the cap.
Yo, what's up? You looking for someone?"
But no, for real though, if I'm keeping it a buck with you, we have a stacked episode this week. We have a lot of things to get to. I know it's been a minute since our last episode, but we didn't really want to force an episode if there wasn't really anything to talk about. But we definitely going to get into some shit today.
Yes, we do. We have a lot of news regarding the gaming industry. We got some stories, new DLC coming out. If you know, you know. And we got some questions, actually, that we're going to be also answering around the end of the episode. But yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Aside from that, what do you think? Do you want to get started?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, let's get right into it. All right, so we're actually going to go right into our weekly segment that we usually do every single week. The name is called Loading Complete or Stuck on Loading. So basically what this is we're gonna point out one thing bad and one thing good we've seen this week. Something that makes you say someone's screen is stuck on loading or someone's screen is complete, if you catch my drift.
Indeed.
Loading complete or stuck on loading. That's the name of the game, alright? So usually how we do it is we usually have one loading complete and stuck on loading each. But we didn't really find too many things to talk about this week, so we're going to be basically sharing it out. So, Arthur, you're going to take loading complete, right?
Yes, sir.
So why don't you go ahead and tell me what you got?
All right, so for my loading complete, or our loading complete, I should say, for those of you who are interested in building gaming PCs, you might want to wait a little bit, or you want to maybe this is now the time to get into it, because right now, there's going to be an Amazon Prime Day where they're going to have a lot of discounts on apparently graphics cards, your GPUs. So your stuff like your NVIDIA's GeForces, your RTXs, your AMD Radeons, those are going to be on sale. And just to give you a quick example of some of the sales that I'm talking about, you can get a GeForce GTX 1660 Ti for $260 and a RTX 2060 for around $330.
Yeah, for all our console of listeners, T.I., we're not talking about T.I. the rapper. We're talking about T.I. like the actual graphics card.
Oh, bro.
No, I'm just talking dead and gone. You feel me? That T.I. You feel me?
You're right.
But yeah, so it's on sale right now, so you can definitely pick up. I believe they're going for a pretty affordable rate right now. Only what, $200?
Yeah,
$300?
even the GeForce RTX 2070 is going for $700 right now.
Yeah, yo, I can't wait to them. They're gonna go down in price even more as time progresses because they're just gonna get more and more affordable.
Exactly.
Just like the same shit that happened with 4K back in the day. But yeah, I feel like this is great. I feel like now is the perfect time to build a gaming PC if you got some money saved up and you want to invest.
Not only
you know
that,
what I mean. I know a lot of people.
I was gonna say, like, I think this is a great time because for my console brethren, if you are looking to not get a PlayStation 5 or a Xbox Series X, I highly recommend that PC is the next step that you should take. Me personally, I'm going to take that step because I am not. I don't see myself in the foreseeable future getting a PlayStation 5 right away. Instead, I'm going to take this nice little PC of mine that I've had for almost 5 years now and, you know, giving it some love, like upgrading it. I haven't touched this at all ever since I got it back, I think in 2015.
This man stole what I was about to say.
I beat you to it this time, boy.
You beat me to it, motherfucker. Hey, man, at least your PC is much more, like, stronger than mine. I got this shit right here. This shit is on fucking life alert. You feel me? This shit could like you know what I'm saying? It's not on his last legs in terms of like it's old as fuck, but this shit needs some work done on it. You feel me?
Bro, would you say like it's on food stamps?
Yeah, it definitely is on food stamps. But you know what? I can't even be mad, bro, because I got this for the low price of free, so I can't even be mad at it. So I'm just gonna take all the money I'm saving right now, put it towards this bad boy, and I'm gonna turn it into a monster. You feel me?
Smart man.
Put this motherfucker on steroids.
Oh, yes, sir.
You should definitely keep an eye on this then.
Yeah, I wanna actually. The thing about it though is like, if you could even get to like a little bit of PC talk, I don't know shit. Like I didn't build this computer. I haven't built a computer before. I originally was planning on building one until I got this bad boy just right in front of me for free. So I was like, all right, cool. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna upgrade it, but I'm not really sure which parts are compatible. You know what I mean? Like I don't really want to just invest blindly into a parts that I'm not sure is even gonna be compatible with what I have already. So I need to do some research into that, and once I find out what can work on it, I'm definitely gonna invest. And this shit runs on like Windows 7 because fuck Windows 10. Fuck Windows 10. Oh my goodness. Yo, I actually was a side note. I was actually working on a music video on my laptop the other day, and Windows 10 gave me this weird ass glitch where I'll basically, you know how like when you put in your password at the beginning and it says welcome, I got stuck on a loop on the welcome screen like for like forever. It just wouldn't let me through even though I put in my password. It would just keep looping and looping and looping. So I literally had to fucking put that shit in a safe mode and uninstall the latest Windows update for that shit to work.
You know what's weird? That also happens to my laptop. Funny enough, right? Like I haven't personally used my laptop in a good minute, but my mom does, and there have been countless times where she's called me over because after you put in the password on my laptop, or in the laptop in general, it would always be stuck on that loop. Yeah. So I don't know.
It was some bullshit.
Yeah.
I literally put it. You know how to put your computer in a safe mode, right?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. Damn. All right. Welcome to the troubleshooting podcast. But no, what you got to do is, you know how like when you're on the lock screen, you see like the little power button at the bottom. Yeah. You have to hold shift, click restart, and then it'll open up the safe mode. You could throw it in the safe mode with networking, and then from there you can go to options and you can uninstall the latest Windows update, or you could back up if you have like a previous backup save file or whatever. But what I did was I uninstalled the latest the quality update for Windows, and I went into my settings and I turned off the lock screen period, so that I only have to put a password in it no more, because I don't really use my laptop like that. I don't take it outside like that. It's really just a home laptop at this point. Yeah. So I just said, fuck it. I don't want this to happen to me ever again. Fuck this lock screen. You feel me?
Yeah, I get
Windows
you.
Is bugging.
I get you.
But yeah, that's it for Loading Complete.
This has been the Tech Support Podcast. We'll see you guys next week, where we will discuss all the future upgrades that you could get for your PC, and also talking about Intel i9 processor. Thank you very much.
Yes,
have a good
Yes, sir. All right, so next we got Stuck on Loading. I'm going to go ahead and take this one. I'm going to swig this water real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Before I take this.
Because this next piece of news that we got, oh, Jesus Christ.
This is a little bit of a doozy.
This is a doozy. This is some serious stuff right here.
All right, so what's going on is Activision/Blizzard had an office in France where I believe they had around 900 employees working. And recently, I believe all 900 of these employees got laid off. The whole office got shut down. I'm not sure why specifically. I'm gonna assume it's Corona related because Corona's fucking up the economy everywhere right now. So,
well,
I'm gonna assume.
I was gonna say, like, sorry to interrupt you, but from some articles, some of them are saying that they're trying to focus more on a digital industry. And then some are also talking about how like they were planning on moving offices towards London.
That sounds like some bullshit to me.
It sounds like some bullshit, but that's insane.
Because were these people laid off with a notice?
I don't know.
Because you know when usually there's some shit going on, you know what I mean, they would give people a courtesy notice, a 2-week notice, something. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But if they just pulled up to work one day and that shit was locked the fuck up with a piece of paper on the front door, you know what I mean? Then they're just assed out.
Yeah, like that to me, that just shows the amount of respect that they probably have showed those employees. It's like when you work at a company, right? You have this underlying thing where you feel like you should be at least be appreciated in the company, right? Like the people who hired you actually care about you, and then having this happen to you where you get laid off and then you don't know exactly when it was gonna happen just goes to show you like how much Activision, or at least the higher ups, actually value their employees. Yeah,
indeed. That's very, very unfortunate. 900 people, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people.
I just want to preface
that's a lot of families that need to be fed.
I want to just preface this saying that we currently do not know all the details that are currently taking place as to why this shutdown happened, if it was announced beforehand, because I don't think you were here, but one of our friends he brought this to our attention, right? And he was saying something about how he found an article saying that apparently this talk of laying off the office was happening back in 2019, when I think Activision Blizzard made an announcement saying that they were planning on laying off, I think, 8% of the company, like with their employees and divisions and all that kind of stuff. So I can't personally say that's the truth or if that's the reason why it happened. All I know is that these people lost their jobs in a time where losing your job is incredibly critical and so important to keep it. So.
You would think these people would be working by home at this time, but even still, it's just 900 people without a job. That's very unfortunate. So like, shouts out to them.
Yeah, shouts out to them.
I feel like
we
can just leave it there.
All of that. I hope you guys find something with your talents that will be appreciated at some other company. Stay strong and keep your head
Somebody
up.
will pick them up.
Yeah, somebody will pick them up, hopefully.
Yeah. All right, but let's go ahead and step away from that. Let's get into some quick news segments right now. We got PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live games for not November. I was about to say November. I was about to say October.
Yes, sir. You want me to cover PlayStation and you cover Xbox?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, cool. So, for PlayStation 4, we got 2 games, like always. We got Need for Speed Payback and Vampire. Now, I don't know about you. Vampire makes sense, but Need for Speed Payback in October doesn't. Like, is that just me, or... Because right now, aside from Vampire, that is very disappointing. Just to have, like, Need for Speed Payback instead of something else.
This is not the first time I've been disappointed by PlayStation Plus games.
Indeed.
So this is just alright. This is just free games. I don't think Need for Speed is a bad game. It's racing games are cool.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad game. I just think it's compared to some other options. Like a lot of people were speculating that Bloodborne would definitely be one, but it was, I believe.
Well, that's what happens when you speculate. Yeah. You get disappointed. But yeah. Not bad at all. These are just alright games to me. I haven't really heard many good things about Vampire either, so this is just kind of mid right now. But the last 2 months have been mid anyway, so whatever.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, we're going.
All right. Moving on to Xbox. All right. So from October 1st until October 31st, you get Slayaway Camp Butcher's Cut. On October 16th to November 15th, you would also get made of Sker.
Trash.
Sker? S-K-E-R? I'm not really sure you say that.
I just say
Alright, and
Sker.
on Xbox 360 and backwards compatibility with Xbox One, you would also be getting Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy from October 1st to the 15th, as well as Costume Quest from the 16th to the 31st.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know any of these games, but
I'm gonna be even more honest than that. Xbox Live games have been trash, bro. Moving on. That's it.
The only thing,
hey man, if you
I'll just leave it.
If you want to play, all right, what?
I'll just leave it at this. At least Xbox was trying to at least fit the month.
Stop the cap.
And like make Halloween themed games available, which I appreciate. But aside from that, I haven't heard anything about these games. I don't know. They're probably like really mid. I don't know. Maybe they're good.
Yawn.
Yeah. I don't have an Xbox. I don't play that.
Moving on. We're done with these. We got some other stuff to get to. Another big piece of news on the Nintendo side. They announced the next Smash Bros. Character, and it's Minecraft Steve.
Minecraft Steve. It finally happened.
First of all, right? Here's the thing, right? We gotta really get into this because I know some people were upset. I know some people were like kind of just like, why?
Yeah.
But what you gotta understand is this was the most obvious move. This was clear as day to me. I knew this was coming. Mm-hmm. I knew this was coming. Like I knew the sun was gonna rise in the morning, bro. This shit is obvious as fuck. I don't understand. This is not surprising. This was like, what? This is just like clear. This is just the most obvious move. So I don't really get why people were upset about it. But Minecraft Steve is in his bitch now, and I feel like he's cool. I like Minecraft. I mean, like I don't play the game now, but I used to like it in my adolescence. You know what I mean? But yeah, definitely a great choice for Smash Bros. I feel like he's right at home, but at the same time, he sticks out in his own unique way. Mm-hmm. And his moveset is cool as fuck as well.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I was going to first say that Minecraft Steve being in Smash kind of was like, for me, like kind of like a countdown. Like, I feel like it was going to be inevitable just because of how impactful and huge Minecraft is, right? It's literally on almost any platform you can think of, both last gen, current gen, and next gen.
Facts. I heard Minecraft was on the Wii.
Exactly. And honestly, I didn't think it was a bad fit for Smash by any means whatsoever.
Yeah. Also, can we also point something out, bro?
Yo, what's up?
Here's the thing, right? I don't even think there's any game that has done this. Minecraft has been a genre, like crossing. It's gonna cross over multiple genres. It was on the PS3 and the 360. It's on the Xbox One and PS4, and I promise you, it's gonna be on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X.
Of course. I don't think there's any question about that.
What game does that, bro? No sequel out. Just a game so big that it stands on the strength of the name alone for 3 generations.
Well, I can tell you one.
I'm listening.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5. That's another one. That's another
one.
heavy-hitting game. That's another one.
Like, I definitely get what you mean, and I completely agree with you, because Minecraft does something that almost no video game, or at the very least to this extent. I know you could say like, MMORPGs, World of Warcraft has done this. They've been around for years. I'm like, yo, more people play Minecraft.
I don't count those though. I don't count those though because they're not on consoles. They're on PC. They have a long-lasting life on PC. But if we're talking like generations, you know what I mean?
And for how many people have most likely played
that's
this?
Reserved for a game like Minecraft. That's reserved for a game like Grand Theft Auto 5. And that's reserved for a game, unfortunately, like Fortnite.
Yes.
Which is probably going to end up being the case.
Yeah. I want to just say, like, wrapping up what I think of him, seeing his moveset looks very unique. And I really like that about characters in Smash. I prefer seeing new things being added to the game that players can use to their advantage. The building mechanic looks like a lot of fun. It looks like a lot of rage-inducing moments, especially with characters that have bad recoveries. I said this in the chat that I'm in, right? And I will say it again here. Minecraft Steve looks like the best edgeguarder in the game.
Yeah, that's true. His offstage potential is off the fucking charts.
Yes. So I can't wait to actually play him when he does come out. What is it? The 16th? I think.
Yeah, I believe it's 16th.
So
yeah.
I'll give my my impressions when he gets released. Until then, he looks like a very fun, unique character. He looks good for Smash, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well said. All right, that's you pretty much said everything I was gonna say as well. I really like how they utilize his B button too.
Yeah, I love his mind.
He just got really creative. They got really creative.
Indeed.
All right, next thing, let's cover. We gotta give our first impressions on this new title. I believe we covered this on the podcast when it was first. It was a while ago. I don't really remember which episode.
Covering this around, I think, either February or May, or I think earlier than that. But basically, it was the game that I talked about how a lot of Chinese fans were upset because this is essentially like Breath of the Wild, and they were destroying PlayStation 4s in protest.
Oh yeah.
The game that we are referring
this game is
to,
called
is Genshin.
It's called
Impact.
Genshin Impact.
There we go. All right,
yes.
One of us said it. Cool.
Yeah, both of us said it. But hey,
congratulations.
All right, yo, this game is out now. I really just want to go over first impressions. Just overall, what do you think about the game?
All right, well, let me get my 2 cents in first because I know you have played this game a lot more than me, right? So I'll let you do this after. But Genshin Impact, from what I've played, is a very impressive free-to-play open-world RPG. And the reason I say that is because, yes, they do borrow elements from Breath of the Wild. I'm not gonna sit here and say that they didn't. There's a lot of stuff that carried over from Breath of the Wild into this. But the game itself is still very well made, especially that it's a free-to-play game, dude. The controls feel well. The mechanics are pretty good. I like the whole element system that they got going into the game, how every character has like this one element and it can interact with others in very unique and varying ways. The story is actually like pretty it's all right. It's there. Voice acting is top notch. The game looks great. Even if it's on like running on PlayStation 4 hardware, it still looks great. The animations are smooth. The progression is fair. There's not a lot of paywalls behind the game that a lot of free-to-play games tend to go with, which is the biggest thing that I just want to take away from this. It is a very well-made free-to-play game that rewards you for just playing it instead of rewarding you just to pay for it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And
yeah,
I'll leave it to AJ now because he has played more, but that's my initial first impressions. It's pretty good. Mm-hmm. It's pretty good.
I'm not gonna lie. When you first mentioned this game back in February, way back in the year, mm-hmm. I really thought this game was I didn't really know what to think of this game. It was coming from a Chinese company. I was thinking it's gonna be some type of clone. That's the way these articles were like making it out to be.
Yeah.
That's what it came off to me as. But I really gotta say, this game is inspired by Breath of the Wild. Definitely some mechanics are inspired, but this game stands on its own two legs. It's not a clone. The gameplay is completely different. The gameplay loop is not the same. It's really just a game that wears its inspirations on its sleeve, but still stands on its own regardless. I feel like the gameplay loop is great. It's addicting, keeps people coming back. The grind in the game is not too crazy. There is a grind, but it's not OD, you feel me? Like, you could definitely, especially if this is a game that you're coming back to, on a day-to-day basis, because they do give you those daily incentives of getting like those bonuses when you log in and shit. Mm-hmm. You definitely will not be grinding as crazy as you would in some other games. Mm-hmm. I feel like the role system is fair. The microtransactions are there, but if you just play the game, I promise you will be able to do those roles a fair amount. Yeah, there's definitely a fair amount, and the ratios of what you get new characters, they're fine as well. Like, they're not like OD. I've definitely gotten at least 4 to 5 new characters, and I might have like 20 hours in the game, and I haven't spent a single dollar. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's really great. What else can I say? Like you said, the voice acting is A1. The cutscenes are dope. I really like how it's just open world. I have gotten a chance to try the multiplayer. The multiplayer is cool as well. The only downside to it being that it's only really beneficial to the host. Only the host can get the loot and all the other benefits and shit like that. You can get loot sometimes, but all those regular chests and shit like that, that's only really for the host. But yeah. What else can I say? Game design, beautiful. World design, beautiful. The different areas of the map that you unlock later on as you explore the different towns. I think it's called Leeway. That town is beautiful. Like all different types of like structures you'll find. When you get to Leeway, there's like a hotel that has like an elevator system and everything.
Wow.
And
I didn't even know about
that. Yeah. The photo mode is also really cool. I really want the multiplayer to be fleshed out though. That's if I can give a critique. They need to flesh out that multiplayer. They need to let people run the entire story with friends. They need to make XP fair and balanced. And maybe, just maybe, if they want to do some tweaking to the difficulty when you're playing with more people, that would work as well. Because I felt like we were really just knocking all these enemies out really, really quickly.
Yeah.
What else can I say? Each character is very, very unique. Each character has its own moveset. I believe there are classes, so like you might have a character, you might have two characters that are both dual wield. Not dual wield. They might have two characters that have the great sword, right?
Yeah.
But they are different in terms of their elemental powers, which is another thing that I like in this game is the elemental powers. I like how everything is inspired by, not inspired, but everything is kind of just like has this really cool thing where you can interact with other mechanics by using certain characters and shit like that. Another thing that's in Breath of the Wild, say for instance, if an enemy has like a wooden shield, you could aim at the enemy with a fire character and you can burn their shield off and make them vulnerable. If a character is like water type and you use fire, I guess is more prone to doing certain things like that. Or no, pardon me, if an enemy is water type and you use electricity, it's more effective and different things like that. It's really, really cool. And I just love all the shit you find in the world. The world is actually designed really, really well. If you really walk around, you'll always find camps. You'll find something interesting that you haven't really seen before. Shit that you don't even know what the fuck they do, but it's there. You can go to bosses right off the rip. You don't even have to do the story. You could just deadass. Like, if you go to the right places on the map and you wonder, you could just do a boss. And even though it may be like fucking 20 levels higher than you could still fight it.
Yeah.
And I just like that they give you that freedom to explore pretty much right out the jump. So I will say I am a fan. I am a fan of this game. This game is really, really solid. As a free-to-play title, I feel like it's fair, which is really, really rare to see in these free-to-play games with microtransactions. A level of fairness. And yeah, I feel like that's all I can say. Right now, I'm about 20 hours in. This game right now got 2 thumbs up from me, bro. I really feel like this game is solid. I just feel like you need to tweak a couple things in terms of the multiplayer. And this is you're looking at a game that has the potential to have a really long longevity. So
yeah, I mean, the biggest question that I have, that I always ask myself, that I can't help but asking when I play this game, how is this game free? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. The visuals are stunning, bro. Visuals are stunning. Very stunning.
It's crazy.
Especially if you play on PC.
I've seen it on PC.
That unlocked frame rate.
I have seen it. I remember one of the people in the server that we're in, he was streaming it on PC and it looked gorgeous.
Yeah. And also, I should mention this game also has cross-save between PC and mobile, not PS4, unfortunately, but it is what it is.
There is crossplay, however.
Yeah, no, crossplay and cross-save as well. So you can also, if you're playing it on PC and you gotta go somewhere, you can pick it up on your phone and then, you know what I mean? You can continue where you left off.
Yeah.
But yeah. I feel like that's all we gotta say so far. Right now, it's 2 big thumbs up from me.
Yeah.
I want to know how this game is gonna progress over time. Is it gonna be more of like a seasonal thing where it's like they keep adding more and more new characters in rotation? After, I believe when the game first started, it was like 20 days I'm talking about the roles here.
Yeah.
But like you have the potential to unlock certain characters in certain role packages. They're timed though. So I wonder if they're gonna switch it out. And I wonder, I'm still not at the end of the story yet, and I'm 20 hours in. I wonder how the after story content is gonna look like after I beat the story.
Definitely.
Because right now there's a lot of shit for me to do. There's a lot of side quests. There's daily tasks. Once you get to a certain level, they give you 4 daily tasks or like daily quests, I guess you could say, and they're all like it's not necessarily unique every time, but there's certain things where it's like, okay, go here, defeat these enemies. Okay, go here, talk to this kid, and then do this quest for this kid. Like, I was doing one where it's like I had to plant wheat for this kid, and I had to go plant it by the water or whatever to help him. It had something to do with the birds. Something to do with birds. It was the kid by the bridge. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
By the main area?
Yeah.
Yeah, they give you a daily quest from him, and I thought it was just really, really dope and solid that if you keep coming back to this game, you'll have something new to do every single time. So, yeah.
Nice. Yo.
Two thumbs up, like I said. I'm really impressed.
Definitely. I think maybe the longer this game goes on, we can like maybe go back to it every now and then, give our impressions, because I think this is a game that we'll be playing for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just fix that multiplayer.
Yes.
Please fix it.
Anyway, moving on from Genshin Impact.
Moving on.
We got some more news on Cyberpunk 2077. So we have.
You want to take this one?
Yeah. So Cyberpunk 2077 has announced that they are going gold, and essentially what that means is, right now they are in like the final version of the development process. Like, the game has been created, everything is basically done. All they have to do right now is get the copies ready and to produce them so that they can be ready for the actual launch date. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this has been a long time coming.
For sure.
A very
multiple delays.
Long time coming. Multiple delays. When was the last? Wait, like when did Cyberpunk actually get announced? Like
I don't know.
A while back, hasn't it?
But I will say, CD Projekt Red has a streak that is damn near been fucking flawless. They have a great reputation, and I don't expect anything less than greatness from this title coming out right now. It might be a day one pickup for me. I don't know yet.
I'm still on the fence, just because I want to see what people say about the game first.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's how we always be. Like, that's how we always do it, bro. So we don't really cop games day one like that. We want to see how people react to it. Yeah.
Well, I usually cop games day one.
I mean, unless it's Call of Duty for you.
No, and the Mario thing for me.
Yeah, but that's Mario. How they gonna fuck? They can't fuck on Mario, bro. It's fucking Mario.
But for me, I usually cop games day one when I know for a fact I'm going to be playing it as soon as I get it.
I feel like this might be the next big kind of game we play. Like, we used to be playing GTA back in the day. I feel like this might be the next one of those.
Yeah.
I believe this game is first person, and is it third person as well? I don't know actually. But this game right here, I know it's gonna look beautiful. If you're running this shit off a base PS4, your shit gonna sound like a fucking jet engine. Fucking Boeing 77 in this bitch. Like,
PlayStation's about to get its work.
This shit about to take off.
Yeah,
I ain't talking about the
take
Migo,
off to the fucking graveyard.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel like this is great. The game is now gold, which means it's been pressed onto a master copy, which is basically a master copy is the one copy of the disc of which all other copies are going to be based off of. So I feel like this is great. I think that means no more delays. I think that means everything is set. November, next month is when we're going to get this game.
Yep.
And I believe next gen is going to get it a little later with a free upgrade as well. So yeah.
Yeah. We're almost there, boys. Don't worry.
Fire. But yeah. All right. That's pretty much all we can say on that. But let's go ahead and move on. Next thing we got, before we get into... Oh, okay, we got some other stuff to get into too.
Yes,
but next thing we got, let's go into it really, really quickly. Let's go through this. We have PlayStation revealing backwards compatibility with their next-gen system, the PS5. They're giving us a really, really small list of titles so far. And they go as such. Afro Samurai 2. Hold on, I didn't even know there was an Afro Samurai. Pardon me. I didn't even know there was an Afro Samurai 2.
Also, just to clear up something real quick, these are the titles that we are going to be listing. These are the titles that are confirmed by Sony to not be backwards compatible with the PlayStation 5. Just as a quick heads up.
These are not compatible.
Yeah, not compatible.
So does that mean every other title will be compatible?
According to Sony, yes.
Okay, and before I even go through this list, what kind of compatibility are we talking about? Are we talking about native compatibility?
In the article,
where I can put the... No, hear me out, right?
Yeah.
Are we talking about where I can put the disc in the PS5 and it'll play? Mm-hmm. Or is it more of like a PlayStation Now sort of situation?
From the article that I got, according to Polygon, Sony states that if you own any sort of physical PlayStation 4 game, like the disc, right, you are able to just pop it into your PlayStation 5 and it will recognize it and let you play it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just like how regular backwards compatibility will be.
Yes,
In
sir.
terms of downloadable games that you might have, I'm not too sure yet. Okay. I'm assuming that it kind of works like Xbox, where you find the game on the store and you download it from there, and then it'll just do the process of detecting, oh, it's a PS4 game, so we're just going to switch so that it can run just like that.
All right, cool. So let's just go through this short list real quick. These are games that are not compatible with the PS5 backwards compatibility, and they go as such: Afro Samurai 2, DWVR, Hitman Go, Joe's Diner, Just Deal With It, Robinson, The Journey, Shadow Complex, Shadwen?
Yeah, Shadwen.
Isle of Man, and We Sing. Listen, if you want to play We Sing on the PS5, something is fucking wrong with you.
Yeah. I was about to say,
that's really it. Who the fuck?
All of these games are so fucking obscure that if you wanted to play this on a PlayStation 5, you got some issues, my boys.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah, that's pretty much it. Small list.
Yeah.
The next thing we got to get into, also in relation to the PS5 as well, is I believe we're talking about NBA 2K, right?
Yes,
the next gen copy of 2K. Actually, did you see the 2K21 trailer for next gen?
No. The only thing that I've seen is these ads on YouTube that I get on my videos, where it's just like they're saying, I forgot what they were saying, but they keep passing the ball around and say like, oh, this is game 2 or something like that.
All right, well, let me explain something really quick, right? So with 2K, right, how they usually do it is whenever they jump to the next gen, they make a lot of improvements. For example, when it went from 360 to the Xbox One, it was 2K14, I believe, and that game was not the same game it was on the 360. Yeah. It was a completely different game, very, very improved, and a lot of people are assuming that they're going to be doing the same thing with 2K21. Okay, so here's the thing. I've actually watched the trailer. The visuals look incredible. Everything looks fire. The frame rate was dipping just a little bit, but I think that might have been just the trailer.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they're charging $70 for this shit. Here's the thing, right? I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I don't understand why people are mad.
You don't understand what?
I don't get it. I don't understand why people are upset for $70.
Really?
Arthur, I remember a time, right? I wasn't alive, right? But you gotta understand, I remember a time where games were $100, $80, more. Do you remember that?
To be honest, not really.
That was before our time. Mm-hmm. That was like way back. That was like before GameCube. That was like SNES, NES era. I believe some in the 64 era. But yeah, games you could charge whatever. Back then you could charge whatever you want for games. That people would buy it. Mm-hmm. It's only really become custom now. At like maybe let's say like the last 15-20 years that people have been accustomed to be like, okay, 60 is the fair price. This is the baseline. I feel like 70 is pushing it, but at the same time, gaming is an expensive hobby. If you're really going to complain about a $10 difference, maybe you shouldn't really be investing in a PS5. Mm-hmm. That's just how I feel, though.
Me personally, though, for one, I can't remember, like, say, like, I know I didn't exist in the 80s and the 90s, right? But I don't remember many games charging almost $100. What I will say, right, how much they cost back then relative to how they would be now, like if you do like the math based on like, you know, wages and how much a dollar was worth back in the 80s and 90s, then yeah, you can make an argument because they were charging like around, I think, $40 to $60 still for like regular new games for like NES, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, PlayStation. It was still around that price range, but the costs that like how much it would have cost today is almost like if you were to spend $100. But that's getting into like weird economical and math.
Wait, run that by me again. I'm sorry, I did not catch that.
The best way I can describe it is that in the 80s and 90s, from what I recall, games were not around like $100, right? Like they were, from what I remember, like maybe the most you'll find is like 70 or 80 in certain stores. But I think the baseline was around like 40 to 50, and then. Yeah, I remember in the article
that was a.
I was gonna say, like, I remember in the article they were saying like for the longest time the baseline for a new game for consoles was around $50 until 2005 when I think Activision started selling some games like the newer Call of Duty games like Call of Duty 2 for $60, and then that trend just started to follow with other companies. And I'm gonna be honest, like $60 is still a lot of money, but I think it's an all right base for new AAA games to be charging, because $70, and keep in mind it's not just $70, you still have to add tax onto that, so you're paying like a good $75 depending on where you live in, and that's getting a little bit more pricey now just to play some games.
I don't think it's still that pricey, because you got to understand, right? If you're investing in a next gen piece of hardware, right, $500, and you're complaining about a $10 difference in price, I don't really feel like that. That's just fair. Like, yeah, I get 60 is the baseline, but that's not always how it used to be. And a lot of people love to buy special editions that cost double the amount of the game, $100 plus. Mm-hmm. So I don't really understand why people are complaining. I just don't get it.
I get it.
It's $10, bro. If you complain about $10, don't buy a fucking $500 system. Yeah, like be upset you can't afford a $10 difference. Like what?
I get that. Yeah, but I mean, I still just don't get the increase in price if we're not gonna get anything like with the special editions that you mentioned at the very.
I mean, but you don't know what you're getting though. You don't know the new editions that are coming. We don't know much about 2K21. So what if they are adding something?
True.
That could make it worth $70.
But my guess is that it's just gonna literally increase the price by $10 just for any new game that's released. And that's
not true at all, because Cyberpunk is gonna be $60. The only game that's been confirmed to be $70 is 2K.
I'm saying like this is more of just like a discussion kind of thing, because this is just something that NBA is just doing right now. But if other game companies follow suit, like I said before, in the article when they mentioned that Call of Duty at the time, or Activision, they were the first ones to go $60, and then later on, other companies decided to follow suit. So who's to say that it won't happen again? And this is why we're having like the discussion now, where if 70 will become the baseline price for these types of games. And
will it become the baseline price?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
But if it does, I just don't think like increasing it up to $10 more is just going to make gaming a more expensive prospect, like not prospect, but entertainment thing to, I guess, like go for. It's just going to be even more expensive.
I hate to break it to you, man. Gaming is not a poor man's hobby. It's just not. You spend, especially if you're on console, then you're really pushing it, because you spend let's just say, right, you buy a PS4 right now, it's $300. Mm-hmm. Then on top of that, you pay $60 for just to even be able to play online. And then if you want to play with your brother or your little sister, that's another $60 for another controller. True, and then you want a fucking game, that's another $60. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I just don't want
this shit racks up fast.
Expensive.
It's not.
That's just my thing.
Well, here's the thing. It's inevitable, bro. Like a lot of people, like a lot of money goes into putting these games in. And if they're putting on all this money to give these amazing looking titles and these amazing games, shit has to go up over time. It can't just stay 60. If the amount of money it's gonna take to make games goes up and the price stays the same, that means companies are gonna be losing money. It's just the natural evolution of things.
Yeah,
I hate to break it to you.
Yeah, I know. And still, I just don't like paying more, but that's just me. I know it's probably like inevitable at some point, But just me
Well, here's the
personally.
thing: if you don't want to pay more, stay on the PS4, my guy. 2K21's gonna cost $60 over here.
Oh, I wasn't. Oh, you already know I'm planning on staying on PS4.
So you know what I mean. If it's just for next gen, if you don't plan on picking up a PS5 in the near future, what you got to complain about?
Yeah, true.
All right, moving on.
Yes, sir.
I was actually kind of looking up different prices to try to find a game that used to cost more than $60 back in the day to bring it up, but I couldn't find anything off the top. But all right, last thing. Let's just go running through this really, really quickly.
Yes.
Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate Characters announced Melina, Rain, and Rambo. I gotta keep it a buck with you. I don't care. All I can say is Sylvester Stallone.
Yes.
Adrian! Adrian! That's all I can say. All right, moving on. We got some Q&A questions to get to. All right. I guess we could just sort ahead. We got a question coming in here.
Yes.
We got coming in from. We actually got two questions from the same person. Our guy, you know what I'm saying, Papu, as we like to call him. Let's go ahead and run his first question. All right, let's go ahead and run his first question.
All right, let's do this.
How would you guys rank the top 5 most difficult fighting games to learn?
Alrighty. So, the question was top 5 hardest fighting games to learn.
Now that is a very good question that I don't really think about too much. But I have some things. I have some games that I got listed out here. Personally speaking, before I say my list, I just want to keep it real with you guys. These are games that I listed because these are games that I have played at one point or another. So if for some reason I do not mention a game that you guys think is harder than any of these, just keep in mind this is my opinion and these are the games that I have played. There are countless hard fighting games that I just haven't played yet and that are probably harder than a lot of these entries, but this is just me, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave this one to you because I really haven't really
All right,
played most.
cool.
I haven't played a lot of fighting games. So.
Also, another thing that I just want to preface with this question, I feel like no fighting game is... Well, the difficulty doesn't come from fighting games in general. It focuses more on like the individual mechanics that focus on that fighting game specifically, right? Because if you're good at like things that apply to almost every fighting game, like footsies, neutrals, combos, mind games, like the usual stuff that I think can apply to any fighting game, then these are the games that I think are the most difficult when it comes to their individual mechanics, right? So first up on the list I got is Tekken. Tekken is a very difficult fighting game from what I've played. There's so many things that you have to keep track of. There's crouch guarding. High, mids, and lows work differently in this game. If you have to take into account the 3D space and all that kind of stuff. Very difficult. Some characters have like pages on pages on pages of moves that you have to learn and memorize. So if you're into that kind of stuff, then by all means play Tekken. But yeah, moving on, I got Guilty Gear, which if you know Guilty Gear, you know that what makes that game incredibly difficult is the fact that a lot of the characters have unique mechanics that are special to them, and they're even special to just fighting games in general. I can't personally say like a character that comes off the top of my head that best describes him, but I know that Guilty Gear with its characters is very difficult to learn or even consider mastering. So there's that. Next up, we got Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. The reason I chose this one is because I feel like Street Fighter isn't really that hard of a game to learn, but 3 breaks that mold. Just with how incredibly technical and precise the gameplay is in order for you to not get destroyed, right? I remember my boss from my old job, he played a lot of Street Fighter 3, and he just straight up told me there are 2 players, or the 2 types of people that play that game, right? You're either a noob or you're a god. There is no in between, right? Which is why I think like this game is like incredibly difficult, and I've played it before. It is incredibly precise. It is difficult to like get even some of the basic combos down. So that's why I have that on the list. And yeah, moving on, we got Super Smash Bros. Melee. Reason I say this is because there's a lot of things that are going on in one melee match that a player has to take into account, which is incredibly difficult. Learning specific tech for your character, wave dashing, DI, stages, how a certain character plays another character, the movement itself. It all becomes like a mesh of, God, I don't even know how you describe it. It's just incredibly fast paced, and yeah, it's very difficult if you want to like try to get into it competitively. And yeah, the last game that I do have, this may be a controversial one, but it is Marvel vs. Capcom, specifically 2 and 3. And the only reason I say that is because it is an incredibly fast-paced fighting game that you have to take into account with 3 health bars, right? So if you really like, if you don't know what you're doing in that game, you'll also get bodied. But yeah, that's what I say are my top 5 hardest fighting games to learn.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you. I didn't hear a thing you just said. I didn't know what the fuck any of that shit meant. But yeah, I'm glad I left that question to you because I wouldn't be able to explain anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, he also left the second question. Let's go ahead and run that second question real quick.
So, what are you guys' thoughts on Call of Duty throughout the years?
Alrighty, so the question was, how has Call of Duty evolved through the years? Alright, so this is another one I'm gonna be kind of relying on you for. I haven't played every single Call of Duty game, unlike somebody I know that's sitting right next to me.
Yeah.
It was also recording this podcast with me, but yeah. How do you think Call of Duty has evolved through the years? Actually, let me kind of just give my little opinion.
Yeah, give your 2 cents in real quick.
So COD started off as kind of just like a war simulator. I believe World War I, World War II, that sort of era. Then it sort of evolved into more of like an action kind of like Michael Bay kind of movie style kind of game with COD 4. I believe the first 3 games are more focused on being like simulators, but then 4 kind of just took it and turned it up to 11. And then ever since 4, everything's just been going up every single game, like for real. I feel like once after COD 4 hit, everything just started following after that, and then COD 4 just became the base of the Call of Duty formula. And so after COD 4, we get to go to the whole Black Ops 1 era, you go Black Ops 2 era, Modern Warfare 3, Ghost, which was a fucking awful game, and then we go ahead and get to what is it? I believe Advanced Warfare. Was that the first futuristic Call of Duty?
Yeah, with advanced movement, yes.
Yeah, so that was the first futuristic Call of Duty, and then Call of Duty entered. Basically, they started running out of ideas because how many action games can you make without sort of switching certain things up? Mm-hmm. So they said, okay, fuck it, space. And then they fucking put these niggas in space, and then they started giving them advanced movement, fucking robotic shit. And that was also around the time Titanfall was coming out, and Titanfall kind of made it really cool to have this advanced movement. Respawn was having this thing with Activision for a minute because, as some of y'all may or may not know, Respawn was a part of the whole Call of Duty ecosystem at one point in time. Worked on games like Modern Warfare 1 and 2. And yeah, so then they started entering like the futuristic race. I think Battlefield even tried to get in it at one point, but it didn't really work out. Yeah, and then they did that for a while, and then that got old. They went from Advanced Warfare to Black Ops 3, and then what else? Infinite Warfare, and then even Black Ops 4. I believe Black Ops 4 was also futuristic, but it didn't have any of the mechanics. It was more like an on-foot kind of game. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I believe it just everything started getting more. Wait, did World War II come before Black Ops 4? I don't know.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, okay. So I'm missing a few things, but yeah, after that they sort of after I believe it was Infinite Warfare. They said fuck this, fuck these like different mechanics and shit. Let's go back to our roots. And then World War II went back all the way to the roots of like the first 3 COD games, where it kind of came off as more of like a sim, but it was more actiony still, a lot more actiony. Mm-hmm. And then every game after that, I just went back to on foot, and I feel like we're at right now with the COD Cold War is a really, really good mix of that action and that nostalgia feeling from the Black Ops titles. And I feel like I'm really enjoying this. I really enjoyed the alpha as it was so far, so I feel like that's kind of where we're at with it. You have anything you want to add on?
Well, you actually nailed a lot of the stuff that I was going to explain. Right, how cool. I wanted to break it up was I like to think of the COD series in 3 different phases, right?
All right, let's run through it a little quick because we're kind of pushing an hour right now.
I'll run this as quick as I can, right? So at first we had what I like to call the golden age of COD, right? This is spanning from, you could say COD 1, I guess, all the way to Black Ops 2. And the reason I say this is the golden age is because these are the games that a lot of people remember looking back very fondly of, because these were the games that kick-started the whole COD phase, where a lot of people were just having fun, casual fun, trick shotting, quick scoping, just running around, shooting people, all good and fun. But then, because of the fact that they're trying to keep yearly releases with the series, you get into the second phase, which is the futuristic era, where instead of making things original, I guess you could say, they start copying what the trend was at the time, which was the whole futuristic stuff. And that spans from Ghosts all the way to Infinite Warfare. Infinite Warfare hits, and everyone is done with this. We're done with the futuristic stuff. So then you enter what phase, which I call a return to form phase, where we go back into what COD was known for: boots on the ground, arcade gameplay, maybe a little bit of realism here and there with the new Modern Warfare that came out. But yeah, that's my whole take on the COD series. I think the worst was definitely the futuristic phase, because not a lot of people were enjoying it, even though I think Black Ops 3 was actually a pretty decent game in its own right.
It was.
It was very fun. It was very good to get into, but I'd still prefer the boots on the ground. And right now, Cold War is a lot of fun. It definitely, like AJ mentioned, it plays on your nostalgia factor because it really reminds you of Black Ops 1 with the whole time setting and the weapons. And yeah, I think for the most part, I think COD right now is in a good spot, especially with Warzone and how popular that is. Yeah. I think Activision knows that Call of Duty is going to be doing good for the next couple of years. And yeah, that's my take on it.
All right, let's run it. I feel like that's a great place to end it off. That was a great explanation too, by the way.
Well, thank you.
That was a good explanation. I feel like Papu. I hope that answered your question, Papu.
Yes.
I hope you answered both your questions to the best of our ability. But yeah, I feel like this is the perfect place to end it now. Now we're gonna go ahead and do the wrap ups. Let's go ahead and start it up. So guys, if you enjoyed this episode of the Loading Podcast, episode 41, make sure you go ahead and hit us with that 5-star rating on iTunes. Not only does it help us grow in the algorithm, but we also really appreciate that. Make sure if you're listening to this on YouTube, make sure you're aware that we have a audio version and a video version as well. You can listen to it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, pretty much anywhere you listen to podcasts. And you can check out the video version on my channel, which is at Aaron Ryder, ARANRYDER. That goes for as well as the rest of my socials, my Instagram, my Twitter, my Twitch. Be sure to check me out over there. And you can find my guy over here
You could find me under Flying Rye on almost all of my social media platforms, and also on Twitch, where I stream every Monday through Wednesday. Mostly Dark Souls, but recently I've been switching between League and some other games. So yeah, stop on by if you want to see some cool gameplay.
Well, yeah, we've been talking for a damn near hour, so we're going to go ahead and end this shit. So once again, guys, my name is AJ.
And my name is Arthur.
And this has been the Loading Podcast, episode 41.
We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.